Good morning, everybody. Welcome to SOS webinar. My name is Miriama, and I will be your admin during this webinar. Topic of this webinar is looking for a powerful platform for your Linux application, and today's presenter will be Michelangelo from UDOO. At the beginning, some information about this webinar. So if you have any question regarding Projects as a software, please contact me in the chat. And if there is any technical problem, I will try to help you. And if there is any question regarding the presentation, please write your question to Q&A windows, and during presentation, Michelangelo will answer your question. Also, I would like to present you a special offer. As a participant, you will be able buy with a discount 25% autofocus camera from UDOO, and also get Centurion humidity and temperature sensor for free. After webinar, I will send you an offer, and this offer is limited till November the 6th. Also, this webinar will be recorded, so in about a week you will be able to see also record from this webinar at our webpage. So now I would like to pass word to Michelangelo to start his presentation. So, good morning, Michelangelo. Can we hear each other?
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, Miriam, and all the attendees. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So now, please, you can start with your presentation.
Okay. So, first of all, thanks for having me and UDOO here. It's really a pleasure for us to be invited here. And so, as you guys may know, we're talking about UDOO today. We're gonna have an introduction talk about this, and we are not getting into too much details, but we'll let you know what is UDOO, what you can do with it, how it started, and all of this basically. So, can you see the presentation?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So, well, first, UDOO. What is UDOO? As you can see from the title, Android, Linux, and the Arduino in a tiny single board computer. This is what we are talking about. And you can see on the right side our board. The dimensions are really tiny. You can imagine probably 2 credit cards together. This is the size of our board. And what is it? It's basically a computer, a mini PC. So if you connect it to a screen with keyboard and mouse, basically this is a computer, fully effective, but it's just more than that, because it has also an Arduino on top of it. And as you may imagine, it can run Linux, which is the default choice for embedded platform like this, and it can run also Android. So you can see it's a quite flexible platform. And yeah, why we had this idea of developing a single board computer with additional features? Because we are designers, we made a lot of projects, especially interactive projects, physical computing projects, and yeah, we were using Arduino. But yeah, somehow we are doing a great platform, but we realized we were having 2, 3, or 4 different Arduino shields, each on top of one another, to obtain what we were looking for. So we were starting from a very simple platform, and we were increasingly added the complexity of the solution. Then, most of the times, we were using Arduino in conjunction with a computer because we needed, for example, to make image processing or display on a screen what was going on with the Arduino. So again, yeah, we were having we realizing that we had, for our needings, to put 3 different platforms together most of the time. So an Arduino, a computer, and a lot of accessories together. So the idea came from it. Why not to create something that will unite everything together? So we wanted to be able also to exploit the web capability that identify our era. So we have a lot of devices connected to the internet, and our project needed to be just as connected as all the devices around us. So this was our goal, to develop an innovative product for something for the needings of makers, designers, students. We wanted a flexible platform and something that could be usable both in the DIY world and also in the educational and business world. So we came up with this idea, and now we enter into what really UDOO is all about. As I told you before, that UDOO has 2 words in one. Basically, unites the flexibility, the portability of a single board computer with the physical computing capabilities of Arduino in just one board. So, why I'm emphasizing all of this? I mean, what is so special about having a computer and an Arduino on a single board computer? We can imagine that, for example, we want to make bigger computations with our main processor, the computer one, and in the same time impacting the real world with a dedicated processor. This is quite a complicated concept now to understand on the first point, but I'm gonna give you some insights about what you can do in this field, and I'm gonna do by showing to you a video. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, and
Okay.
also we can see the presentation.
Okay, great. So, what basically you've seen is that this is our video for giving the idea of what you can achieve in such paradigm. So having a computer which can also impact the physical world. This means you can connect sensors, motors, light to it. And as you can see from the video I just showed you, we wanted to integrate such capabilities in a user-friendly environment, which of course should be easy to use for the beginners, but should be also really powerful, really extensible, flexible, also for the advanced users. I guess that you today, some of you may have a lot of experience, some of you may be beginners, so I would really like to have some feedbacks from you while I'm talking. I much prefer that we are doing something together, not just talk. So if there is something it isn't clear, please let me know. If also you have some technical and advanced questions, please let me know as well. So we can go on. So as I told you, we have this all-in-one solution. Getting a bit more technical, this means that, as I told you before, we have two processors. One which is a powerful quad-core in its most powerful version, ARM CPU, which does what a normal computer does. And the other one is a dedicated processor for the Arduino side. Actually, it's the same processor you will find on the Arduino board. So it's quite powerful for handling sensors, motors, actuators in real time. And this is something really interesting. We are gonna get into that later on. What we developed was then a platform. We wanted to release the full schematics, both of the hardware, of course, but we want to also rely basically 100% on free and open source software. So if you go to our website, you can find all the schematics, because this is open source hardware. We really believe that knowledge should be shared, and we have also a lot of feedbacks from our users which are sending us suggestions and how to improve our board, and they can also replicate it themselves. Another topic and another thing that makes UDOO so special is that it can run on Android. Okay, Android, everybody knows it. We have thousands of mobile devices based on Android. And yeah, if you just put Android on your UDOO and hook up to your TV, you have a giant, we could say, tablet, because you can use all the functionalities you have on Android. And that's fine, but it's not so special. What makes UDOO really special with Android is that we used a feature that Google developed some time ago, is Accessory Development Kit, ADK. This was meant to allow Android devices to talk with Arduino. It means that I can connect every Android device to an Arduino to, for example, turn on a light with an application, with an Android application, or move motors. Of course, this hasn't achieved so much success as Google intended to, because nobody did really attach his Arduino device to his phone. But we decided to integrate that because we saw a lot of potential into giving the chance to Android developers to use Arduino for their projects. And we can see later on that we had a strong response from our users, and there were some brilliant and amazing projects made with exploiting Arduino capabilities on Android on UDOO. So, who wants to use the UDOO board for which we designed to? Well, of course, makers. Makers are brilliant people, and they are getting the makers movement is gaining a lot of momentum right now. So yeah, we can say that UDOO is the ultimate makers tool, because basically it addresses every need a maker can have. But also developers, because when you will download our software package, the operating system for UDOO, you will find already included all the major SDKs. Then for designers, because with UDOO you have basically test prototyping tool. You can develop your project and have reduced consistently time to market, because you can try all the functionalities your prototype will need without needing to go into production. And of course, students, because students can have the most interesting development platforms available in just one board. And it is interesting because since UDOO is so powerful, it can be seen also as a desktop replacement. So we've had some schools, universities, institutions which use the UDOO to create low-cost computer labs, because the cost of the board is less than an actual computer. So let's see. And the second part of the story, of course, we did have those ideas. We submitted to Kickstarter asking people to bake our project, to believe in our project, and we raised $640K 1 year ago. Now, UDOO Board is as a big community, it's growing really fast. We have a lot of feedbacks from users, and we see UDOO being used in a lot of projects, and also there are commercial projects that are using UDOO as its brain. The first example is, for example, an audio player, but there are others going on, some of them ranging from energy management platforms or visual installations for museums. So there is a lot of stuff going on thanks to UDOO. So if we can sum up some of the specifications, as I already told you, we have two processors, one for the computing part and one for the physical part. Then, of course, you have all the input and outputs you may need, because we have Ethernet, Wi-Fi. You can also have the capabilities to attach our LVDS touchscreen. They come in 7 inches and 15 inches. Then you have a fully compatible Arduino Duo pinout, 1 gig of RAM, mic and audio connectors. You have mini USB and mini USB for OTG and debug purposes, 2 regular type USB and 1 auxiliary USB, a camera connector, a SATA connector, and the operating system resides on SD card. And if we should talk about the software environments, you have Linux in all its flavors. The official operating system of UDOO is UDOO, which is, of course, as the name suggests, is based on Ubuntu. And we integrated all the development toolkits that you may need, but you can also find Debian, Arch, Linaro, both in minimal style and with graphical interface. Then we have XBMC for media player, Volumio, which is an audio player. Then we have Ubuntu Studio for multimedia production, and of course, Android. And so, if you guys have some questions, I would really love to know them. Miriam, do you think we have some questions?
Yes, so far, yes, we have one question. If there is going to be Android 5.0 in future?
Yeah, we are working as we speak to bring new versions of Android. You know, of course, since the compiling procedure is not so straightforward, we need to adjust here and there from the source code. But yeah, we are working hard to bring new Android versions, and I tell you, in the future, I would really love to have also the new branches of Android, like Android Auto. I don't really know if that's going to happen, but we are working hard to contact Google and speak about this possibility, because it would be great to use UDOO as a development platform, for example, for new Android branches, as we may say.
Okay, thank you for your answer. The response from our participants is that it's really nice to hear it, because on market there are a lot of developer boards with pathetic support, so we're looking forward to this. Okay, so far we have no more questions, so we can continue with the presentation.
Okay, okay. So I don't want you guys to get bored looking at the same old PowerPoint presentation, so I will let you have a look at the operating system. We will have a good look at it. So. Okay, can you see now the screen with the Arduino IDE?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, so now I am in front of basically our UDOO Linux. I'm connected now with remote desktop, so probably what you see is not optimal. But yeah, just to give you an idea. So this is our operating system. As you can see, is Linux with LXDE, and as I told you before, we included all the utilities to get you started, and something more. For example, we have Scratch, which is a programming language used especially in education environments, but it's good also for experienced users sometimes. And so here we have Scratch already included out of the box. As you can see, the experience is really smooth, even if I in fact have two graphic servers running, because this is being streamed in real time. I have also GIMP, a regular web browser, but the real important part is the software development kit. We included it in UDOO. We have Bluefish and CodeBlocks and Genie, which are 3 code editors. They are quite powerful, so it depends on which one you like the most, and you can use them. Then we have Python included, of course, and we have OpenCV already included in Ubuntu. For the ones of you that doesn't know, OpenCV is a computer library vision. So, for example, thanks to, since UDOO has quite a lot of computing power, we can do computer vision and video and video recognition. We can do advanced operation in real time on UDOO. The great stuff about it is that you can use the Arduino part based on what you have with OpenCV. This is an advanced matter, and we are going to see probably if we are having another webinar. But just to let you understand the flexibility of the UDOO solution, I want to explain this project to you. We made a project which has a screen which can rotate both on the vertical and into the horizontal side, thanks to 2 servo motors which are controlled by the Arduino part. We attached a webcam, and we programmed OpenCV to allow face recognition, and we were able to calculate the position of, for example, the face, which is in front of our webcam. We can then move the screen with the servo motors based on the position we have on OpenCV. So this lets you understand that this platform is not only very powerful, but you can do stuff which is not so immediate on other platforms, like, for example, a regular PC. Then, of course, we take care also of the sound and video part, because we have pure data included, QJack control for real-time audio, and system tools and utilities. So the operating system is quite a balance between having a lot of stuff included, but not too much. Of course, you can install additional software via the Ubuntu Software Center, which allows you to choose new applications. You can see. But the core, one of the developer tools we're going to use the most is the Arduino IDE. You see, is the same as a normal Arduino IDE. And for example, let's imagine I want to program the Arduino. I can do from the board, from my operating system, or if I prefer, I can also do from an external computer, because we have the USB port for that. So let's imagine I wanna write a simple sketch, like analog input, for example. I just upload, and it will compile it and upload it in real time on the board. This takes some time since it relies on Java and is not the most efficient thing in the world, but it's very convenient. Now we finish compiling, and right now is uploading. Okay. So now we have our sketch running on our Arduino. And let's see, for example, if I connect something. As you can see, this sketch reads what happens on the first analog pin, which is A0, and it prints on serial the value. So again, I'm compiling the sketch. In the meantime, I'm connecting a photoresistor to the A0 pin. This is live coding, and in my experience, live coding never works, but let's say I feel lucky somehow, so let's hope it does work. Okay, so now I got my sketch compiled and uploaded, and I should see the values on the serial monitor, and it works actually. So if I put my finger on the photoresistors, you can see that the values are decreasing. I don't know how it is the refresh rate with this webinar, but I hope you can appreciate the difference. For example, if I put a light on the photoresistor, or if I remove the light on the photoresistor. Again, and remove. So you can see I can check in real time what's going on with the sensor I attach to the Arduino side of UDOO. And so now I guess you are starting to imagine what you can do with that. So for example, I can put these values easily on a web server. I can install a web server on UDOO and, for example, put the values of those sensors there. Or I can move a motor using it like it was a normal Arduino. Or again, I can make some processing with these data, with these readings, and do something accordingly with a motor, for example. And how do I access these values that are written by Arduino? I should do a simple edit here. So I have my serial port, which is running at 9500 bounds. First, I should change it to, or I can leave it also like this. The really important thing, if I want to read from Linux, is to instead use serial write instead of println. So if I do serial write, I can then read the readings from Linux. And let's see. So again, I recompile my sketch and I re-upload it. In the meantime, I will open my console. And basically, what I'm looking for, you see, here we have all of our devs. What I'm looking for is dev/GTI MX3. This is our serial device, the ones that connect the two processors. And now I should have my value written over there. This may not work now since we are okay. probably we have the writings written too fast. But this is the procedure. If I wanna read the values I have on the Arduino side on the Linux side, so I can import them basically. So this was a preview of what we can do with, and of course, I can do also on the other side of things. If I write something, for example, one on def TIMX3, I can communicate something to the Arduino side. So we use this serial device as a communication pathway between the two processors, which we can access easily. The only important thing is to use the same communication speed both in the Linux and in the Arduino sketch. So this is what the live show, the live demonstration of the UDOO operating system. Miriana, do we have questions?
Hold on, please. No, so far we don't have any question.
Okay. Well, I encourage you guys to make questions if there is something which is not clear on this part.
No.
And then, okay, we continue so with presentation. So now we saw one of the development toolkits available on UDOO. The number is constantly increasing. Even if you don't find it included, you can download them. We tested a lot of them. The most famous could be Node.js, Pure Data, Scratch, Java, of course, the LAMP stack, so-called server, Perl. We have now having MATLAB ported. So there is a lot of stuff going on and which is being ported by us and by the community. And we also have some accessories available to let you extend your project. For example, as I told you, we have two LVDS touch panels, which are designed to work out of the box with UDOO. All you have to do is just plug, and they will work. We have 7 inches and 15 inches. Then we have the camera module, which has a connector on the board. Again, really simple to connect and to use. And we have 2 versions, one with the infrared filter and one without for some extended applications. And yeah, we do have, of course, our website where you can have an idea of which are the projects made with UDOO. You have our wiki, which is full of useful resources, a forum, which is where there are a lot of interesting threads and discussions, and of course we have a gallery of our projects, and I will show you some of them now. Miriam, did we have some questions made by users?
Please. No, so far no.
No, okay.
So far is everything clear.
Okay. So now I will show you some of the projects we've had. Okay, can you see the browser?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So, this is made by UDOO section on our website, and I want to stumble upon the most interesting project we've had. Of course, you can watch them by yourself. I'm just gonna give you a quick overview of them. Well, this is one of my favorites. It's called Jenkins. It's basically a HAL 9000 style project. So we have a computer which can understand what you are telling to him, so a science entity. It can reply to you, and it is integrated with the Wolfram Alpha database. So you can make questions to him and will understand and reply accordingly. The good stuff about it is that you can use the Arduino side. So, for example, you can turn on and off lights. So this is really worth watching. Then we have an augmented reality project for education. This is really nice. You will appreciate this if you watch the video, because it's really cool. Basically, what happens when someone puts his finger on this piece of paper, there is an augmented reality going on the screen. This is made on Android using the Unity SDK, and this is really nice. I really recommend you to watch it. It gives you an idea of the computing power of UDOO. Then I really adore this project. This is actually an engine control unit made with UDOO. So this means that this guy placed UDOO on his car, and it's controlling the ignition times of his engine. And the good stuff, he can reprogram it in real time using our LVDS touch display. And this is quite awesome. So you can control the performance of his engines with a touch screen. And this is one of the commercial projects which are starting with UDOO. So this is going to be is a commercial project made with UDOO Board, because he was able not only to develop it but also to make it working, and now is in the selling phase. Then we have this, which is a wind powered energy production system, which is controlled by UDOO. You can see we have a kite which is creating electrical power, and the control of the system is made with UDOO. You can appreciate then in how many different fields UDOO can work. This is a nice project. We brought this to the Maker Faire Rome. It was made. This won we can say, the competition we put on our website just to submit the project, and we will choose one to bring in Maker Faire. This is basically a photo booth which works really good for parties. You just press a button, it just makes you 4 photos, and then you can choose to print them. The last project we are going to see is this one. You know, I was telling you about Android Auto. So basically, we have a navigator, a media player for the car made with Android, UDOO, and the 7-inch LVDS display. So this is a way to have Android really embedded in your car even before Android Auto hits the market. So I hope you did appreciate what UDOO can do, all the flexibility, the power, and of course what brilliant people can make out of it. So I really look forward to reply your questions if you have now, or to see you on our forum and community. And I hope we are doing another webinar. The next time will be probably more technical. We're going to do some real live coding, and we're going to see how to get deep into this matter. And as for now, I really thank you all for attending this. I thank you, Mariama, for the kind comments. And if there are some questions, I will be glad to reply to them.
Okay, thank you, Michelangelo. So far, I don't see any question from our participants, but if there is any question after a webinar also, you can feel free to contact us, and we will forward this question to Michelangelo. But now we have one question. So we are thinking about using UDOO as a HMI on our industrial machine. Is your system recommended for HMI in industrial applications?
I cannot hear you really good.
We are thinking about using UDOO as a HMI on our industrial machine. Is your system recommended for HMI in industrial application? You can also read this question in Q&A window.
Yeah, I don't know what HMI stands for.
So, Mr. Mati, can you please specify human machine interface?
Yeah. Yes, we've had some companies which adopted UDOO both for example, for quality control and for human machine interface. We had one company which used it with Android. They put Android on UDOO. They put a 15-inch touch screen, and from it they could control some part of their production chain, both for controlling and both for operating. They developed their own interface, and they've done that. So yeah, I think that UDOO has the capabilities to do that. The good thing is that you can basically tailor it to your very needs. And if you need some dedicated communication buses, I would say that it has 2 CAN buses if you need them. Since the Arduino side works on real time, this could be good also for intense operation. I hope I replied correctly to your question.
Okay, thank you for your answer. Now we have the other question. Have you got any experience with EMC compatibility of UDOO device?
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. Your voice is fading.
Okay, so have you got any experience with EMC compatibility of UDOO device? A question is also written down.
EMC.
Yes.
No, I love the second part of the question because your voice was fading away.
Okay, this question is also written down in Q&A window, so we can read it. Have you got any experience with EMC compatibility of UDOO device? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. EMC is what is EMC really? Sorry.
Okay, Mr. Yaroslav, can you please also
write down on the chat, Miriam, please?
Hold on, please. Mr. Yaroslav, can you please specify the abbreviation EMC? Electromagnetic compatibility.
Well, we tested it before launch because this is required by regulations, and UDOO performed in an excellent way. For that, I can tell you that UDOO has been chosen by Carnegie Mellon for the Solar X Prize, which is basically a project to send an autonomous rover to the moon. And they're going to use UDOO to send a rover to the moon. They choose this because not only does good EMC performances, so it's not really affected by electromagnetic fields, and because it is really stable when the temperature and pressure of the environment changes.
Okay, so thank you for your answer. Right now we have the other question. What is the difference between the UDOO and the Arduino Galileo Intel, which seems to be a similar concept of more powerful?
Yeah, you got the point. Actually, UDOO is way more powerful, and this is the main difference. Then UDOO has video capabilities, which Galileo doesn't really have, and yeah, you have wireless on UDOO. You have audio in and out. So basically, the Galileo you can see as an extension of Arduino with some Linux on top of it. UDOO concept is more a full-fledged computer, powerful one, with an Arduino Duo integrated. So this is basically the difference.
Okay, thank you for your answer. Right now, I can see any other question, but as I mentioned, if there is any question also after webinar, you can feel free to contact SOS, and we will forward your question to Michelangelo. Also, there is some other question, so
yeah.
Not as a question, but a participant didn't understand an answer. He asked about this electromagnetic compatibility because of compatibility with directives from UDOO Board, just to mark CE on device.
Wow.
You also can see it in the Q&A question window.
I can't really answer to this, but you can send an email, and we will forward to our engineers. But our board is full EMC compliant because, you know, there is a regulation which requires you to make some tests before releasing, and so as far as I know, it meets all the regulations. If you want to know the actual performances, you can send a mail.
Okay, so Mr. Yaroslav, I will forward this question also with your email address to Michelangelo, and he will answer it by mail. Okay. So now There is another question. How much more does booting of UDOO Ubuntu from SATA HDD improve performance of operating system?
Well, quite a lot. Because the main bottleneck for UDOO is the SD card. UDOO Board is really quick and using with SATA hard drive. Well, on boot time you can't really appreciate the difference, but on the regular usage there's a huge boost in performance. I use it with an hard drive, and really it does make the difference. So yeah, on boot times you cannot appreciate a lot. Probably is just 5 seconds faster. And the boot time is 35 seconds, normal boot time. But on a regular usage, you will see the difference when you use an hard drive. If you use an SSD, even more.
Okay. So next question is, does UDOO also support SSD HDDs through SATA?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So it seems like we don't have any other question, but still you can feel free to ask if there is anything that is not clear or you are interested in regarding UDOO. At the end, I would like to thank all of you for your attendance for this webinar, and also you, Michelangelo, for a nice presentation. As Michelangelo already said, there will be a next webinar dedicated to UDOO with more technical information. This webinar is planned for December, but exact date will be launched at our webpage, and you will be informed in advance about this webinar. So at the end, I would like to also remind you there is a short survey after this webinar, and we will be very happy if you provide us with your feedback about this webinar and help us to improve this webinar. And also, till end of this week, I will send you a special offer for autofocus camera from UDOO, which is available till November the 6th for participants of this webinar with discount also 25%. Also next week you can find record from this webinar at our webpage, so you can see them or you can download. So let me thank you one more time for your time, and also for your presentation.
Okay. I will thank you also all the attendees, and yeah, for the kind assistance. It's been a pleasure being here, and I really look forward to come back again to have another one. So thanks to everyone, and see you.
Okay. Thank you also. Bye-bye.
Bye.